great Tuesday. So glad that you're waking up with us here at Impact Church for the Faith for Today podcast. And we've been started yesterday talking about living with hope in times like these. And we use as a scripture, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23 says, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promises is faithful. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works." We just finished that good works series a couple weeks ago. "Not neglecting to meet together as the habit of some, but encouraging one another." I'm telling you, man, encouragement is oxygen to the soul. Everybody needs encouragement. Encourage somebody today, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. And I'm going to use this phrase all week. I want to give you this Holman's Bible Dictionary definition. Hope is a trustful expectation, particularly when you're talking about the fulfillment of the promises of God. Biblical hope is the anticipation of a favorable outcome under God's guidance. Now, really, that's why we gotta expect something good, man, because God is moving, God is shifting, God is doing some things in our lives, and I just really want you to be really waiting for and expecting God to turn that thing around. And lastly, we said hope is simply a confident expectation. Let's look at Hebrews chapter 10. It says, "Therefore, do not throw away your confidence, which has great recompense of reward, for you have need of patience or endurance, so that when you have done the will of God, you may receive what is promised." You know, I believe the toughest, most discouraging trials are when we are called to obey God and when the fulfillment of his promises seem far away. And that's why I believe we need endurance. That's why we need patience. We need to hang in there. We can't get weary and well-doing. And so I believe we have to be really empowered to hope, empowered by God to have courage, empowered by a relationship with God to have this place where we can overcome fear of failure, fear of man, all the different kind of fears that are out there, and really overcome any kind of anxiety. We all face anxieties at different times, but we got to be empowered by God to understand that these things are really hindrances to us fulfilling the plan of God. You know, Ephesians 3 says this. It says, "For this I will bow my knees before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and earth is named, that according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in the inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you being rooted and grounded in love." I was talking about yesterday about that potted plant. We want to be rooted and grounded in God's love. Then verse 18 says, "May have strength to comprehend or understand with all saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know by epignosis, revelation knowledge, to know the love of Christ, which surpasses mere knowledge, that you may be filled with the fullness of God." And we know verse 20, "Now unto him who is able to do far more abundantly than we ask or think, according to the power that's at work within us." I found this quote yesterday. I couldn't make it better, so I'm just going to give it to you. Can we really comprehend the width and length and depth and height of God's love? To come to any understanding or the dimensions of God's love, we must come to the cross. The cross pointed in 4 different ways in every direction, because one, God's love is wide, enough to include every person. God's love is long, enough to last through all eternity. God's love is deep, enough to reach the worst sinner. And lastly, God's love is high, enough to keep us or to take us to heaven. Man, really, really good stuff. His love is wide. His love is long. His love is deep. His love is high. And God's not giving up on you. And don't you dare give up on yourself. In times like these, put your hope in Jesus. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on the Faith for Today podcast. Enjoy your Tuesday.